Summer is here, and that means trips to the beach, days in the sun, and plenty of Carolina blue skies. It's also the busiest season for buying and selling homes, so it's the Sharp Mortgage team's favorite time of year. Are you thinking of buying a home this summer in our beautiful area of the Triad of North Carolina? Well, look no further than Highlands Mortgage, where exceptional service meets unwavering dedication. They understand that purchasing a home is more than just a transaction. It's a milestone. Their team ensures your experience is smooth, responsive, and genuinely caring from start to finish. So why buy a home this summer with them? Well, you get personalized customer service. They pride themselves on offering great customer service tailored to your unique needs. Their responsiveness is unmatched. They're always just a call or email away, ready to promptly address any questions or concerns. And of course, you'll get expert guidance. You can rely on their knowledge and over 20 years of experience to navigate the often complicated world of home buying with confidence and ease. Summer's the perfect time to find your dream home in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, or anywhere in the North Carolina Triad. Let the Sharp Mortgage team guide you every step of the way. With their caring and responsive mortgage team, make your home buying journey this summer memorable. Just call 336-575-9448 to get started. 336-575-9448.
All right, out there, party goers, welcome back to Zero Dark Nerdy, the galaxy's most average pop culture podcast, brought to you by Sailfish Comics with 3 phenomenal locations in North Carolina, one in Concord, one in Winston-Salem, and one right here in Greensboro, North Carolina, right across from Best Buy for all your comic book, action figure needs, and much more in the nerd realm. Of course, a big thank you to our friends over at Pro Covers Exteriors. The website is procoverexteriors.com. Be sure to hit them up if you're in North or South Carolina for all your window, siding, and roofing needs. Free estimates. These guys are the best in the business. Great work at very, very fair prices. And, of course, our good friends over at Golden Ticket Cinemas here in Greensboro. Used to be Brassfield Cinemas. Now it's Golden Ticket Cinemas. And I got to tell you, we've seen a few movies there since they've opened up, and it has been nothing short of fantastic. The Believe Podcast Network, and most importantly, coming up at the end of the month, that's right, August 23rd through the 25th, we have Mad Monster Con coming to Concord, North Carolina, Embassy Suites by Concord. Be sure to check them out. A lot of amazing guests this year. Michael Chiklis, Walton Coggins, they got the Hardy Boys. It is literally one of our favorite Comic Cons to go to. Be sure to check out the website. If you're in the Carolinas, this is definitely a one that you should not miss. Again, madmonster.com/expo24 for the event that they have coming up August 23rd through the 25th at the Embassy Suites by Hilton in Concord, North Carolina. Tickets for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday still available. We have a live podcast for you, so there's going to be very little to no edits coming up, and there are going to be a ton of spoilers ahead as we are going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, the latest and only offering from the MCU this year. Just came out, as I mentioned, lots of spoilers ahead.
We're going to ruin it all.
Yeah, we're going to ruin it all for you, so we wanted to warn you. Just came out this past weekend. A couple notes. Deadpool and Wolverine obliterated the R-rated record with a $205 million opening weekend in the United States and $438 million so far globally, almost $1 billion already globally, which is crazy. It's the 8th highest debut of all time, ahead of 2018's Black Panther and right behind 2015's Jurassic World. Deadpool 1 opened at a $132 million opening weekend, setting the record at the time for R-rated films. And Deadpool 2 opened at $125 million. So after this weekend, The MCU has officially become the first franchise to cross $30 billion globally. $30 billion, people. So you can see why it was very important for the House of Mouse to acquire 20th Century Fox, the X-Men, Deadpool, everything that's going to be coming with it. But most importantly, X-Men and Deadpool, and of course, the Fantastic Four. So, my name is Brian, co-host or host with the most right here, aka El Nino. Today I'm joined with
Kyle. That's it.
We like to call him San Diego Kyle around these parts.
Sure.
And joining us live from good old North Myrtle Beach along South Carolina, we have
Jordan. Kyle stole my trademark. It's just Jordan.
I know that. Yes.
just Jordan and just Kyle joining us on the podcast here. So glad to have you both with us. So
happy to be here.
Jordan, I know you just saw this recently. You saw it yesterday with Hattie. So we'll start with you. What are your overall thoughts of Deadpool and Wolverine?
I loved it. It was great. It was everything really I wanted it to be and more. It's just, you already know if it's Deadpool, it's going to be like loads of fun. And it's just every single one has been better than the last. And, the moment I heard NSYNC when the moment that, remember, this has spoilers, so get off if you don't want spoilers. But the moment he, says something about not defacing Logan's grave and then digs it up, fights a whole
we can do either deface it or not.
Yeah.
Well, fights a whole army with every single one of his bones to NSYNC.
There was no part of Logan unused in that intro fight scene.
Even the fingers individually thrown at one point. He just threw all the digits. Oh man, that was a phenomenal opening sequence.
It was. So I loved it. It was
okay.
Masterpiece comedy.
Masterpiece. I love it.
I like it.
Is it the number one for you ever? As far as like Marvel movies then?
No, my number one Marvel movie is Logan.
Oh, okay. Sure. Wow. So same universe, same character is okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now
it's still, even though maybe Masterpiece is a little bit too much, but it's up there for sure. But Logan, nothing has touched it really close and far in terms of Marvel for me. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. That's one of those just, not before we get to you, Kyle, that my daughter and I bond on. We saw that in the theaters. It was obviously the best Wolverine movie as far as standalone that we had. And it was unfortunate at the time, all of us were kind of like, oh my gosh, this is the last time we're going to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and in such the way it should have been done from the get-go, not just rated R, but
until
great
he's 70.
Storyline. Right.
Until he's 70. When you're talking
now he belongs to Disney.
He's in. Are you kidding? They're going to keep him young forever. He's going to do every storyline. This is a whole new chapter of the MCU. Are you kidding? It's the Hugh Jackman saga now. That's it.
But agreed though, just Jordan's point, the way they started off, right where it ended. And I still remember seeing Deadpool 2, where in the beginning of Deadpool 2, he was so pissed off that Wolverine died at the end of Logan.
Yeah.
And he's like, this son of a bitch. So Kyle, when did you go see it? And what were your thoughts? And did Brenda go see this with you?
No, she has not seen it yet. I saw it on Friday at 1:30 in the afternoon. A buddy of mine had called me up and I just went. It was awesome. I loved it. Everything about it. I thought they did the character perfect. It was the first actual, I think, good Wolverine sequences that they could finally do. Like every movie that they've had him in, he's had moments, and you get to see what he could potentially do. There's always a cool moment here and there, but this whole movie was just all moments, and they got the personality down. Like I said, we can go more into it. My initial reaction was I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's top 3 for me. Endgame was number 1 for me. That's always going to be there, but Logan probably close second, and then this one, yes.
Yeah, we went. My wife and I were in Surf City. Big shout out to the Browder Ralston crew out there for a great weekend with the in-laws and the family. So we drove down to go see my boy Pisani, my daughter's godfather. So big shout out to the Pisani clan as well. On our way to see, because I knew if I didn't see it Thursday, social media was going to completely already ruin this for me. Which just to kind of cut me off here. One thing I do want to talk to you too about. I discussed it with my daughter in length, but I feel like we have so many trailers and it ruins so much of not even just the surprises for a movie like this, but so many of the films. Apparently Feige has said that he's considering just doing teaser trailers. I highly doubt that's going to happen. But just like, real quick, you two, what were your thoughts about the trailers going in? Like upset, happy, just kind of go from there.
I mean, I don't think this was too bad. Besides, for me, like the big thing was X-23. I love X-23. Like I have a lot of the comics, and I'm like so excited for the future of. Hopefully, obviously, we get to see a lot more of her. And I, I'm an advocate for like subtle or like discreet trailers and teasers. Like I just want the vibe and like main premise. I don't want anything else because it just it ruins it, especially if you're going to see it in the theaters too. Like it's a movie that you want to see in the theaters because these days you can always wait and watch it till you stream. But if I'm going to see it in the theaters, that means like I want to have like an experience.
Right.
So I wish they wouldn't have shown that. I don't think there was really anything else I can think of that pushed it too far for me. As far as this one, I don't know if Kyle, you.
Oh no, I thought that they did a really good job giving you just enough. Like telling you, like there was I made it a point not to like seek out answers online. Like I could make my own guesses and I'd stick to my own theories, but I'm not on X ever. I'm not on any of those things. I refuse to watch or look at anything related to those things. I still don't know how Harry Potter ended. Still have no idea. I've seen like clips, whatever. I refuse to ruin things like that for myself. And I know, right? I even went to see the Deathly Hallow Part 1 in the theaters. I've still never gotten around to Part 2. Yeah. I've seen almost all of them in the theaters. Never watched the last one. Anyway, I digress. No, I thought this movie didn't really give anything away. I mean, besides the Cassandra Nova, which was a deep cut anyway, like a lot of people don't know who she is.
Right.
They're like, oh, is that a variation of Charles Xavier? I'm like, yeah, good. Think that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But the rest of it, like Pyro, like Toad. I mean, Sabretooth finally gave it away, but he was in there for a split second. Like any one of those characters didn't matter.
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but most of them, like the surprise with Johnny Storm, like that was hilarious. Like I did not, when he dropped it, I was like, oh shit, Captain America, no way they brought him back. And then he pulls the 4 out. I'm like, oh my God, get the fuck out of here. Like, no way. So nothing was spoiled. Like none of the cameos I thought were spoiled. They didn't like release anything about any of like the him going to look for anybody else. So you assume just from watching the trailer, it's just one guy. He went for one Wolverine, and then you're like, oh, can't like a whole montage. Like, hell yeah. Like, I thought they did a lot of that perfect. I didn't think they spoiled this one. I know that most movies get totally spoiled. I think that you guys are dead on with every movie gets ruined mostly from trailers. I mean, my favorite mistake ever was the Bloodshot. I read all the comics. I knew what was going on. I saw the trailer and I'm like, what are you doing? You gave away like the entire twist of the movie in the opening sequence of the trailer. And then you showed the whole movie in a 2.5 minute trailer. Like literally I watched it and it's they watch the trailer and then watch the movie. Like, oh, you got it. Yeah. 2 hours condensed into 2 minutes, 30 minutes. It's so stupid. I don't know. But yeah, I think they did a good job.
Yeah. I feel like Christopher Nolan, as great of a director he is, his movies, granted, you got Tenet, which you have to watch about 5 times to figure out. These are not, for the most part, besides the Batman trilogy, and of course Oppenheimer. You got to watch a lot of his movies over and over again. But I feel like he does it right with his trailers. Like if he could open up like a how-to film school, like how to make a trailer to leave the audience wanting more, Christopher Nolan, I think, is the master of his craft in that. So, with that being said, to Jordan's point, the intro, but the bye, the dance sequence, everything, what a way to start off the movie, right? Of course, literally like going from Logan's grave from Logan to being pissed off and then having to use every little bit of it in the fight scene was hysterical.
It's time to get serious about your financial future. It's never too early, but it could be too late to get started. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, getting started. How much do I save? Where do I invest? Do I save for college or retirement? How much for each? And who do I talk to about it all? Okay, we'll keep things simple for now and help you answer the last one. We recommend you begin with a local financial advisor, and that's Jennifer Johnson of Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. She'll sit down with you for a complimentary introductory consultation and go over all of your questions. Get started on the path to achieving your financial goals. Visit 3magnoliasfinancialadvisors.com or call 336-701-1600. Get comfortable with your financial future. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Retirement, financial planning, and investments. Securities offered through Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors and Cetera Advisor Networks are not affiliated. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity.
And, most importantly, I do think, not to get lost in the movie, but at the same time, it was really I think it was very well done in the point of like saying goodbye to 20th Century Fox with respect.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, you guys, for the exception of Blade, if it wasn't for Blade and X-Men, I don't think we would have gotten an Iron Man or much else. Like comic book movies from the 70s till about Blade, to be honest with you, and the first couple X-Men films were not fantastic. I mean, they really weren't. So we have 20th Century to thank for a lot of that, even though in their minds they didn't have a whole entire, universe based on this that was going to tie in and this, that, and the other. They did what they had, what they could, but a lot of it was really good. And I thought it was a very great and respectful way to say goodbye. And most importantly, say thanks. And then also introduce Deadpool and Wolverine to the MCU instead of being like, okay, now we have X-Men. Now we have Deadpool. We're going to have variants. Like I was expecting, honestly, Deadpool and Wolverine to, before the movie came out, to show up in like there was going to be a clip of them just being like teleported into Endgame, where they're just like, where the fuck are we? Yeah. Like, we're not in the right place right now. We'll let these guys duke it out. And, really the only thing that tied to the MCU was the TVA, which was introduced to us in season 1 of Loki. So, great job not to just rush it and just force feed us, which is what the DC universe was before James Gunn. We'll see what happens now with James Gunn in charge. But, the DC way was like, we need to catch up and we need to, force feed. And we know really since the Eternals, it's not been great for the MCU. So this was honestly it was just a great kind of relief into where you don't have to think about where does this tie into this in the MCU? Where does this tie into that? It was like, we're tying it into the MCU, but in a very subtle way to where everybody can enjoy it. And you didn't have to watch every single MCU film or every single MCU show on Disney to appreciate it. Now, if you did, you got like the little subtle Easter eggs, which are fantastic. But, and as fans as we are, great fan service. I mean, the comedy was hysterical. The rapport between the two of them were fantastic.
Sequences too, man.
Yeah, the action sequences were great. To talk about the trailers real quick, as I mentioned, yes, I wish they would have left out X-23. That would have been great to just see her show up on film as we did Elektra, Blade, Johnny Storm, and of course Gambit. So I don't understand when literally the movie is coming out the week, like the very next week, that you have to do the final trailer. You've already done 2 to 3 trailers. You've done the teaser trailer. Why do we need the final trailer?
To hook in that last group of audience that really like, did you notice?
But do you think if, let's just say this final trailer didn't come out, I still think the same amount of people still would have gone seen this movie. regardless.
I think you can convince your significant other that it might still be a decent, like a fun emotion. Like, look, babe, there's like emotions here. Remember in X23 from Logan?
Right.
Like I showed that to Brenda and she's like, okay, it kind of looks pretty good. Literally caught her. Like, okay, well, I'll wait till you see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
That's
that
what I was thinking. I was thinking like, well, didn't they only reveal like X23 though? I'm like, why would they save that? But that makes, I mean, yeah, people who want
good call. That's a good hot take right there.
We're definitely not the only ones either who have Logan in our top 3.
Yeah,
not even right. Like it's probably a lot.
And Logan's not MCU.
No,
right. And I think there's probably a whole other little fan base that's not crazy about the MCU, but they saw Logan and they're like, I mean, it's like it's not like an MCU masterpiece. It's just a masterpiece. Like it's one of the best.
Good movie. It doesn't need to be. It wasn't a superhero movie. It was like the literal bridge of a gap. Yeah. Like it was an emotional roller coaster for anybody, and anyone could relate to that character or that scene in anything.
Right. So maybe that would make sense.
That's a good take, Kyle. Oh, yeah, double air horn on that. Double air horn.
Jeopardy. Real quick, did you guys notice, or did it happen to you? Was what were like the trailers beforehand mostly geared towards like superheroes, stuff like that, and then one Blake Lively trailer? Did you guys notice that? Or have that happen? No. All of the trailers were like really like action packed or like suspenseful movies. And then right before the movie started, the last trailer was the new whatever her name is. I just said it. And I Blake Lively movie, romantic comedy. Like it does not fit at all with like anything. And I'm like, oh, this is for, and it's about like a woman escaping an abusive marriage or whatever, or relationship. I'm like, oh my God, this is them throwing this in here. That does not sound like a romantic comedy to me. This is you bringing them in here. And this is, I'm like, okay, well, Blake Lively's like there for the female audience that made it. And like, all right, well, this is, then there's at least one or two of you out there that are with a boyfriend right now.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, we're going to catch you.
Yeah. And I will say, I think this one honestly is a huge film for us nerds, for families, for couples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's one of those things to where you don't have to know much. You can go into it just expecting a buddy, and it's a buddy comedy, but with a lot of heart. So, it was so good. It was so good.
That was the best part. You needed to know literally nothing about this movie.
Even if you don't know shit about the TVA, you could have gotten in there. And the guy that ran the TVA, what was his name?
Oh,
Paradox.
Paradox. Yes.
So I can't remember his real name, but he was fantastic in Succession. So if you have not seen Succession out there, watch the show. That's him.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and that's his real accent. Everybody on the show is British. It seems like. So British people do better English accents than us trying to do British accents, than Americans try to do British accents, or Puerto Ricans at that, which I can't do any accents. So.
I can't do any accents at all.
One thing I do want to, just kind of get on real quick before we go into like maybe some of our not so favorite things about the movie. I thought the soundtrack was absolutely incredible. Cannot wait. And I feel that way for all the especially the Deadpool movies, but I think the MCU, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy, those franchises do very well. I mean, you got everything from Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, which was like a pristine time in the film when you were like, when you think all hope is lost. Then you got Hell's Bells, AC/DC. You got Fergie Glamorous, Avril Lavigne, Canada's very own. I was actually surprised not to hear Nickelback on.
I was just going to say that. I was literally just going to say that. They made,
that was the one thing I was like, oh man, I thought that was the one Canadian group that Ryan Reynolds was not able to add on there.
I was waiting for them to do the hero song at the very end. I was waiting for them to play that song. I was like, come on, play it. I know you want to. Coming out of
from the Spider-Man 1 sound.
Yeah, 2. Spider-Man 2.
Oh, Spider-Man 2.
Oh, the classic Nickelback hero song. I was waiting. I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was coming up, and it didn't happen.
And then of course in the trailers, it's in the movie too. Madonna, Like a Prayer.
Right.
T.I. bring them out. You got a couple songs from the Greatest Showman soundtrack. So of course, pulling out from Hugh Jackman. Yeah, it's The Greatest Show and A Million Dreams. Of course, you got Lady in Red. I mean, that definitely makes sense. And then you mentioned Avril Lavigne, and then Huey Lewis in the News has 2 bangers on there: The Power of Love from Back to the Future, and then This Is It. So phenomenal soundtrack. I'll go ahead and start just kind of with my least favorite, which is honestly very minuscule. We talked, Kyle talked about it briefly. So the villain, Charles Xavier's sister, Cassandra Nova, I thought was a little bit to be desired. But at the same time, and I say this because I think the actress herself did very well. And I'm glad that we did not, for lack of a better term, waste a big bad on this movie in terms of villain or a major name actor or actress. Like, I thought for what it was worth, she did great. Like I said, to me, there was a little bit more to be desired. Honestly, I think she's probably better than half the villains we've seen in the DC universe before James Gunn. So that's kind of, that's putting it lightly. So that's just honestly just my main, and it's not even a gripe. It's just, I get it. You don't want to go all out on a villain that you're never really going to see again in the MCU, as they're literally getting introduced to the MCU. So that's one of my
and don't
my
waste
least
a
favorites.
big one. Don't waste a big one.
Exactly.
Oh my god!
Just like we did, what's his name, Madsen, in the first Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Which, to me is still a waste.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot. It's that movie was forgettable for me. I don't know. I didn't really care for the Strange movies.
So what are any like least favorite takes?
That movie, no. I mean, besides what you said with Cassandra Nova, which I didn't even think that was a bad one. I thought that it was an interesting idea. I loved that she was kind of hammy and just playing it up and didn't care. And I don't know. I liked her. I thought that wasn't but if anything, that'd be my least favorite part. I mean, yeah, the soundtrack was great. The action sequences were great. The montages were great. There was not really any dead time. I think the only thing that I was all right. I guess my only other gripe would be the Peter pool. I don't care for him, and I'm honest. I wanted to see his other buddy, who was in the first one, who was a henchman, and he's in all of the Deadpool comics almost all the time. He's just like
the CJ Miller character.
No, not him. Not him. No. Like, he's a legitimate henchman. He's always a henchman.
Okay.
And he always runs into Deadpool during these things, and he's like, Steve, and he's like, hey, Deadpool, what's up? He's like, oh, I'm not gonna kill you, and he just kills everyone else, but I guess it might be Steve. I don't know if it's Steve. But I was waiting for him to kind of make it instead of Deadpool's buddy, Peter Pool. I didn't care much for Peter Pool. I think that was forced. Other than that, it was great.
I don't mind Peter Pool, man. He's just so fucking adorable.
Yeah, I guess.
Put him in there.
Yeah,
he's all right.
I mean, him being alive again.
And
sure.
Can we give it up for Dogpool?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Life is full of celebrations, birthdays, holidays, life milestones, and so much more. And who has been helping generations of families celebrate these events? Our friends at Dewey's Bakery. And even if you aren't planning for something in the near future, you don't have to wait to enjoy something savory and delicious from Dewey's. Maybe you just need something to get you through your Mondays. Drop by every Monday for a free Cake Square Day. No purchase necessary. Just come celebrate the start of a new week. So, if you're hearing this ad on a Monday and you're in your car, reset that GPS and get to one of their 3 Triad locations immediately in Winston-Salem at Thruway and Renolda Manor, plus one in Greensboro at Friendly Shopping Center. And any day of the week, you can find the perfect item with fast and easy ordering options at local.deweys.com. Plus, Dewey's does so much to help celebrate our community. To date, they've given back over $4 million to local schools, churches, and other nonprofits. Your next celebration isn't complete without something special from Dewey's Bakery. Dewey's. Celebrate every day.
Who's ready for movie night? Our friends at the Ginther Group Real Estate are proud to sponsor another season of innovation and cinema at Bailey Park in downtown Winston-Salem's Innovation Quarter. The next film is Blade, starring Wesley Snipes, on Friday, August 16th. Bring your chair or blanket to Bailey Park for a great night of cinema from Aperture and beverages and food from a variety of local vendors. Pre-film fun begins at 6:30 p.m. and the movie begins at dark. These magical movie nights are made possible by the Ginther Group, the real estate experts we trust and showcase right here on the Triad Podcast Network. Check their social media for info on each upcoming movie night. And for your real estate needs, call 336-283-8689 or visit theginthergroup.com. Buying, selling, investing, or just learning. Whatever you need, start now. And like me, you can become a Ginther Group client for life.
What was his
Canadian one?
the friendly
pool?
Canadian pool?
Friendly pool.
Friendly
Yeah,
pool?
like nice pool or something like
Nice
that.
pool.
Nice pool.
Nice
Sorry,
pool had me in stitches.
Wait, you don't regenerate?
that whole sequence is just gold.
So great.
Gold.
Every time he showed up again, just sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
He looks like the dude from what's
Wear
his
your mask and cover this.
What's the guy from gosh, I don't even want to, because I'm gonna have to edit this out. But anyway,
Right here, edit.
Yeah, friendly pool though was a damn trip.
He was great. I loved him. I thought that was like really funny. I did love that. And cover this face. What?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I was with my buddy. We were watching the movie, and he goes, "Why aren't any of the other Deadpools regenerating?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm actually wondering that as like they're all dying, and then, but like, I'm like, I guess they all don't have the same. It's a different variation. I guess he's the only one that has it because Friendly Pool died or Nice Pool." And then they all regenerate. It's like, okay, there it is. Yeah, that makes sense that they all can regenerate. I thought that was a funny little thing.
Nice pool spits up.
Yeah,
though. God almighty. That whole sequence is just so good.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you get Liefeld's feet, the store in the background, which, if you don't know, the creator of Deadpool is not known for drawing great feet.
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that.
So-
Jack Kirby?
Like
Or
yeah.
no?
No, that's not correct. That's Rob. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Rob Liefeld, right? Am I saying?
Oh, I think
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's Liefeld's feet, and that's an odd
reference, yes.
note to him because apparently he doesn't draw great feet, but he is the creator of Deadpool,
That's funny.
or one of the creators.
That makes sense
of
with
Deadpool.
why his feet.
Don't
always
quote
look
me
like
out.
that.
So Jordan, were there any like not so fantastic moments for you? And then from there, we'll let's go with your grade.
I don't think I had like a least favorite moment. I mean, just like selfishly, I just want like a Logan 2, I think. I just want like more like X23.
Just make the X-23 movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen more of her at least like fighting. Like I was really excited when they all, everybody, Blade and Gambit, the whole team got back to giant Ant-Man body, whatever it's called, to fight Cassandra. I was wanting to see, everybody. And we got to see like everybody get a little fight in, especially Blade. Like he had like the coolest out of all of them. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought Gambit did.
I thought Gambit had some good.
Gambit had it.
The
Yes,
cards and
Gambit.
blowing up.
Yeah.
I'm so
but
excited.
Elektra and X-23, we just saw like glimpses of.
Yeah.
And I
they
wanted
didn't
to
get enough.
X-23
didn't get
to
enough.
go in. Like,
I was telling Brian before we went live that I literally thought they were all going to die and like immediately. Like I thought
we're here.
we're ready. And then I thought like a crane was going to fall on them, kill them all. Like I was just
Yeah.
waiting the whole time. And the fact that they fought was beyond me. I was like very happy for that moment at all.
yes. I also thought they were all going to die.
I did.
Yeah, right. It was like,
I was like,
waiting
oh god, don't kill
for
him off already.
James Gunn moment to happen where like somebody just comes out of nowhere and like swoops all of them off, like decapitates everybody. Yeah.
Especially Gambit, I thought was going to die, which I'm like,
Horribly.
they didn't bring him or Elektra back, right? At the end?
No,
Did they
No.
bring them back?
they didn't die. They were there.
Oh,
No, they were in
really?
the background, but they never showed them dying.
So they brought back X-23 and Blade.
Did they bring back Blade?
Did they bring back? I don't think they brought back Blade.
No, just
Yeah,
X-23.
Just X-23.
Because they have like a relationship.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd imagine.
So that's why
went
there's
on
still
their way.
that's why there's still hope for X-23 because
Oh,
he was
yeah.
brought back into
Oh.
this planet.
They're gonna make it a thing. Also, did
Or
they
the
ever
planet that he's
say
in.
that we're what the Earth Deadpool's in?
So they did in the beginning, and now I should have done more research.
It's not 616. It wasn't
No.
616.
So the one where Logan is the one that's completely gone.
yeah,
So the one that he's in now,
And that was also not
it's
616.
it's four numbers.
oh
So-
Jesus, yeah, you're right. It was
Yeah.
like it was like 1003 or something. Like
right.
But,
So
yeah.
that's another good question too. And I was going to do some research on that, and be honest with you, I ran out of time. But yes, so they're in whatever
that. Deadpool.
planet
Yeah.
this is. So that's why I thought it was great that they brought back Hugh Jackman to this and X-23, and then you still have Peter and of course Big Al. the biggest cocaine, but the biggest blindest cocaine addicts.
It's blind Al.
Blind Al.
Wow, you call her that? Well, she's blind.
Yeah, the biggest coke addict on the planet. And then, but yeah, so the fact that they brought back X-23 too, there is still hope because now she's in this universe.
I guarantee she's in the new Avengers. 100%. They're gonna.
I mean, why waste that character?
Yeah, why?
It's already great.
Everyone wants a Wolverine, and you can't have him in that universe anyway because he doesn't exist in that universe. She is she's a created weapon. I guess of them. I don't know. I think she'll be in it. I think they'll bring her into the new Avengers. It would only make sense.
Yeah.
Favorite moment, I think, was like the Wolverine montage. You know, comic book accurate height. Wolverine was hilarious.
One of my favorite moments.
And then, you know, Patch and that really cool cover of him on the like giant X, like crucifixion thing was awesome. That was a really fun sequence. And
Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
Yeah, my friend, shout out to my friend Juan. He's like, that's his man crush is Henry Cavill. And like, he's the biggest Wolverine fan. And so like he lost his mind when he saw that.
Nice. What's up, Juan?
Yeah.
There's that shout out.
I thought the first like cameo reveal, if it was the first well, you think it's Cap and then it's Johnny Storm. I thought that was awesome. That was like my favorite reveal to me for some reason. It was just like the most satisfying, like funny.
Yeah. He's getting ready to say it.
Avengers is
yeah.
So
those are just some of my favorite moments, I think.
I did love, to piggyback off that, where Deadpool is like, "Oh, you should have heard all the stuff that he was saying about you to Cassandra Nova." He's like, "I never said any of that stuff." And then, of course, the way he goes, it's like, "Oh shit!"
Did you guys watch the credits then?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Receipts where she's saying the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
he did in fact say all that stuff.
Mouth on you.
So, I mean, I think I mentioned a lot of my favorites earlier, so I don't want to get too far into it. Obviously, the cameos are great. I did love the Gambit where Deadpool is like, "Who is your dialogue coach?" Where like he's
dialect
true. He's trying to be true to that Louisiana Southern drawl, true blood aspect of it. But oh man, it was so bad but so funny at the same time. And I love the shout out to Wesley Snipes too, where he goes, "Man, there's only going to be one blade." And then it literally just zooms to Deadpool looking at the camera. Like, I just feel like he's done it in the comic books so well. And the way that they portray it in the movies to break that fourth wall.
He did a lot of times really well, I thought.
It's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, he's done it since the first one. And
well, I mean, in this movie, he broke it a couple. Remember when he's in the TV and he walks away and goes to talk to us? And then walks back. He's like, "What the hell was that?" Like, what are you doing? Anyway, I'm Marvel Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right, because he doesn't break the fourth wall that much in the first two. This one he does for sure. So yeah, good call out on that. But I mean, to me, just incredibly entertaining. I'll go ahead and start. I mean, to me, it's definitely 4 out of 5 gold coins. I really want to give it 4.5, but I think it's just the fanboy in me and the fact that MCU has kind of been treading water up until this point. I'm going to stick with my 4. It's definitely a 4, but get me on another day might be a 4.5, but I'm going to go 4 gold coins on this one.
Jordan, you said all those things, but I didn't catch your review.
Yeah. I'm going to go a 4 as well. It could, I need to watch it. One thing I wanted it to be like gorier, but not in the sense of like blood, but like more like, I don't know, like heads coming off and like like that kind of stuff. Because there was tons of blood, tons of it. And the first sequence I think was my favorite, like fight scene. Like honestly, Deadpool's in sync one, and then
that's not going to be done for a while. That was good.
Yeah, I just need to rewatch it for the action sequences. I thought they were really great. But I don't know. I guess Deadpool and like my expectations, everybody's expectations were always like way too hot, like obviously
Sure.
because I've been waiting for this for so long.
Sure.
And so I guess something in my brain just like wanted more, but I don't know what it was as far as the fight scenes go.
And I mean, Wolverine putting a mask on for the first time.
I was waiting to say that. I was waiting when you say what's your favorite part. It's like him pulling the cowl down.
Yeah.
Was
what was your favorite? Was it the mask?
That and then the face off. The two of them facing off for the first time.
The first time.
That was pretty sick.
I think the second time was better.
Yeah, in the car. Yeah. You can tell.
I'm gonna fight you now.
I mean, my ratings are pretty much a 5, a 4.8 out of 5. There's not a lot that, there's not a lot the movie did wrong, in my opinion. The only things that it did wrong were just not having enough budget to get more people involved. I mean, I honestly, I really, really, really wanted to see Cyclops. I thought they did him dirty with him dying in the X-Men United or the third one, whatever it was called. I think it was United. I think that he could have come back and like been wearing the comic accurate like outfit. Oh, it would have been awesome. Or just even cool. Or even have Colossus come and throw him for Christ's sake. Like that would have been cool. Like doing the fastball special. I thought that we still have no one mentioned that the Hulk fight. Like him wearing the brown outfit and then him coming in and be like, hey, that's a nice little brown outfit you got there, and turn around and there's the Hulk. Like everyone wanted that fight to happen. That was literally the teaser like portrait they've done for the last couple of years was that shot with his claws and you see the Hulk. I thought that was disappointing that they couldn't, spend a little more money. And it was probably budgetary. Yeah. Like you can only do so much. I get it, but damn it. Like, I think that's my only real gripe is that there were so many different opportunities to throw a couple other people in there that if it had been like if Disney had really got behind it, maybe thrown a couple more bucks at it, it could have even been crazier. I mean, otherwise it was what I wanted it to be. I never had my expectations too high because, it can only go down in my opinion. Like it can only be bad, but I just had a feeling it was going to be good. I don't know. I thought it was a really, really good movie.
Yeah. I mean, to piggyback off that, I think if anything, with seeing a lot of the cameos that we heard about or saw with X-23, in my mind, I was like, shit, now we're going to see, if they're already showing us X-23 a week before, now we're going to see a whole bunch more. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, it was great, like I said, to see Elektra, Gambit, the ones that we saw. But yeah, you're right. I don't know if it was budgetary.
Daredevil to come out,
and I mean, I did like how where Deadpool said something about Daredevil. He was like, "Is Daredevil here?" And Elektra's like, "He's gone." And he was like, "I'm sorry." And she was like, "Yeah." So like the subtleties to it. Like I said, I think. And that's why I do enjoy it so much. And like, even though I give it a 4, it's not a hard 4. It's definitely a soft 4. It could definitely go up. I mean, is this a movie to where like, if it's on TV, am I going to watch it? 1,000%. If this movie is on TV, I don't care if I'm at a bar, a friend's house, I can't even hear it, but I can see it. My eyes are glued. I'm watching it. So this is like one of those TNT, they play it on repeat 24/7, 365. They can play it in between Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick and Twister. I'm gonna watch the shit out of it over and over again. So rewatchability factor
100%.
100.
Imagine all the outtakes and all the deleted scenes, all the other stuff they've got there. That montage at the end of the credits with them all the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Those were fun. I think, this is the first movie I'm going to buy on DVD in like the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah. And to add to my collection, agreed.
When the power goes out or the internet goes out, I've got something to watch.
Yep. You never know. Before we wrap up, just a couple other things there. So as far as Kyle and I are going to be doing the San Diego Comic-Con episode here in a minute. What's coming up next? We do have, so this was the only MCU movie coming out this year, which I honestly, I think we're all thankful for. We needed a break from, some of the, I don't want to say catastrophes, but some of the not so great projects that have come out the last few years. But next year, we're back to 4. So we have Captain America. It originally came out as New World Order. They scratched that. Oh. Now it's Brave New World. February 14th, Valentine's Day next year. Then we have Thunderbolts, pretty much the Suicide Squad for the MCU.
I think that's 2026. No,
Thunderbolts is next year.
No shot.
Oh, I'm thinking Doomsday.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm just talking next year. Thunderbolts next year, May 2nd, 2025. So again, this is like MCU Suicide Squad. We got Winter Soldier. We got the White Widow.
Guardian.
Yep, Red Guardian. We got Ghost.
Captain America guy.
Yes, American Agent, or what was it? U.S. Agent.
Oh, yeah. U.S. Agent.
I think U.S. Agent. So that'll be coming out May 2nd. We got Fantastic Four First Steps set in the 60s. Cannot wait to see that. Our boy Pedro Pascal just fucking tearing apart the planet as always. And of course, next year we do have season 2 of The Last of Us coming out. So Pedro just been crushing it since his appearance on season, what was it? 2 of Game of Thrones? No, season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3 of Game of Thrones.
One season, right?
One season.
Jesus.
And but don't get me wrong, this guy has been acting for a long time.
Gladiator.
Acting for a minute. Yeah, Gladiator 2 coming out this year. He's in everything. You know what? I don't hate him for it. And as of right now, it's still on track. We have a Blade movie for November 7th of next year. Even though there's been no filming.
Right.
It's not happening.
That's what the MCU is saying. So we'll see. Hopefully Mahershala is still attached. We'll see what's going on. But Wesley, it was so good to see you back. And for him to say his line from Blade, motherfucker's always trying to be ice skating uphill.
Some was always trying to ice skate.
I'm not gonna lie. I went like this in the movie.
Oh, I did too.
I went like this a couple times. It was a very quiet theater I was at. Like I was expecting some cheering in some parts and shit like that, and I was like, whoo, and nobody else was doing shit.
That's tough. I went to the theater of our sponsor. I went to them, the Golden Acorn.
Yeah, Golden Ticket.
Golden Ticket. Great. I loved it. I've been there twice now.
Sister theater of Golden Acorn.
Exactly. Brother to Golden.
That's right. So be sure to check us out, Zero Dark Nerdy, popculturepodcast.com. Our website is by our good friends over at Zibster. That is Zibster for all your website needs, based right here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Great websites at great prices. Of course, Sailfish Comics, 3 locations in NC, 1 in Concord, 1 in Winston-Salem, and 1 right here in Greensboro across from Best Buy. The Believe Podcast Network, Golden Acorn / Golden Ticket Cinemas over here by Brassfield Shopping Center. And of course, our good friends at Pro Cover Exteriors. ProCoverExteriors.com is a website for all your window, siding, and roofing needs. Be sure to hit them up. Tell them Brian and the crew from Zero Dark Nerdy sent you for a discount and, of course, a free estimate. But thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Kyle. We will all see you next time.
Yeah! Victory!
And anger management?
Fuck anger management.